What's up, YouTube? It's YT Wake 'em Up, back at it again with another video. Hey, I appreciate everybody saying they love my channel, and I love that y'all love this content. This one right here is about people that regret having children, they regret having their kids, and this could be a touchy subject, and I just want to get into it, let these people rant and share their ideas. All I need everybody to do is thumbs up this video so YouTube can push this content out. And if you're brand new to the channel, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you can be notified exactly when I post. With that said, let's get right into it. Let's not waste no time. Let's do it.
I'm going to say something that will make some people upset. I think we need to normalize regretting having your children. I'm a therapist and I work with kids, teens, young adults, as well as parents. And there are so many parents who have been vulnerable enough with me in their therapy sessions to admit that they regret having their children. Now, before you shame those parents, these are really, really good parents. Now, these aren't all parents that I work with. It's just a emotion that does come up in therapy that I don't think really gets talked about, because if they were to say some of these words out loud or to other people, they would get shamed for it. And don't get me wrong, these are amazing parents. They're great parents. They love their children. They would do anything for their children. They would never give their children up. But it's just talking about the emotion of regretting having them.
You know what really grinds my gears? Nah, the whole time. You ever had a parent that you knew and they constantly are saying, you want these kids? Like talking about their children. Like, you want these kids? You want them to come with you? You want me to pack them up and ship them up and I can take them? You could take them with you? You want them? You want to take them with you? Like, it's one thing to say it like every once in a while or whatever, as a joke and way or whatever. But if they say that shit one too many times, they mean that shit. They mean that shit. They trying to hide it as a joke. Like, you know how people be trying to like throw shade, but they hide it in a joke? That's exactly what they're doing. They trying to give up their kids, but hide it in a joke. They don't want their kids. They probably regret having kids. But it's like, you didn't have these children, so now you kind of stuck with them. Now you just want to pass them off to somebody else, and it's like, nah, boo. Because that's just a bad look for a parent, because it's like, why are you so comfortable to just give up your children and just, like, you're basically showing that you don't care about your kids that much. You're basically showing that you don't want to be a parent. You're basically showing through your actions and through your words and through this repetitive behavior, through this pattern, that you regret having them children. You don't want them, and you're letting it be known that you don't want them. And the thing is, the children don't see through that stuff because they're young. They haven't matured enough to see that. But adults can see through that shit. And I'm telling you, as an adult, if you have ever seen another parent do that, whether that is a mother or a father, and you can feel in your energy, like, they don't want their kids. They dead ass serious when they saying that. They for real. They are for real. They are for real. And I know, frankly, I just can't fuck with somebody like that. I can't be friends with somebody like that, because I'm like, nah, like, that goes against my morals. So, sorry. Not sorry.
I know quite a few people that done said that before. They down there be trying to auction them off, trying to give them away to anybody. Couple people done said that to me. Hey, you want a 4-year-old or whatever age they is? Like, nah, take care of your responsibilities. You see what I'm saying? But they really genuinely feel that way. They really would give them away, which is crazy. And even my pops, I remember growing up him saying, you know, I'd be a millionaire if I ain't had y'all. And little smart remarks is like, why are you saying that? Or that's what you had kids for, to boss them around and get them to do the stuff you don't want to do. Like, what? No, it's not. I didn't ask to be here. And then they sometimes want you to live the life that they weren't able to accomplish for themselves. Now, this is not my personal story, but I know people like that. I have friends like that. They put this extreme stress on them. They wanted them to live a life they couldn't accomplish. But at the end of the day, that person didn't even want to live that life. So that's a terrible position to be in. Sometimes you can put too much on a person and overwhelm them. That's when people crash out for real. A lot of these crash dummies we seeing, that's why. Too much pressure for real. Like, you can't be too strict. At the end of the day, they got to live their own life. You got your life, they got to live theirs.
I regret being a parent. Now, before you come for me, please hear me out. For the longest time, I didn't want kids. My husband and I were on the same page, and then we got to year 11 in our marriage, and through some discussions and things, we decided we did want to start a family. We changed our minds, as people do. And I think we went into it thinking that it might not even happen, because we had some friends with fertility issues and things like that, so we thought maybe this might not even happen for us, so we're just going to go ahead and try it anyway. Instead, it happened very quickly, and I think that kind of shocked us a bit. And for 2 straight weeks, I cried thinking about it, because I was like, what have I done? I've ruined my plans. What am I doing? I got over it after the initial shock of it all. And then the pandemic hit and we had our daughter, and I thought, great, now this is not going at all as what I thought. And it was hard, but I love my daughter. She is hilarious. She is so sweet. She's so smart, witty. I can be having the worst day ever, and she knows that, and she'll give me a hug, and she brightens every part of my day. And I love being her mom, and I love being a mom. But there were a lot of reasons why I didn't want kids. And one of those reasons was that I didn't want to bring a kid into a world that was declining as it is. And I don't know if this happens every generation. I don't know if every generation has thought, what am I bringing my kids into? But especially with the state of things as of late, I look into her eyes and how bright it is and how wonderful she sees everything. And I just think, what have I done? Because one day it's not going to be as bright for her. And look at everything that's happening. So in that respect, I regret being a parent.
I consider myself someone that stands 10 toes down on the fact that I regret motherhood. It's like I don't regret my daughter. I regret the role.
I think people are rubbed the wrong way about it because most moms feel that way.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to say it.
There is an anxiety that I have developed having a child that never lived in me before at all. The fear of even when she's not with me and I don't have to be selfless. I'm still thinking about, is somebody going to hurt her? Is a earthquake going to happen? A mother is like who I am, like at my core. And because of that, it consumes a lot of my thoughts, and I hate that.
I need space from my child in order to be a good parent. I can play as much as a 34-year-old woman can play.
Yeah.
But feeling guilty about that too. I chose to be a mother. You're supposed to love every part.
One day she's not going to want to play
She's
with
not
you.
going to want to play. You're going to wish she's like, no, I won't.
I regret having children and I wish I could just die instead. Hey, please can you give me some advice on what I can do? My 4-year-old child is driving me crazy and it makes me so miserable. I have not known peace since the day I gave birth to him. I thought being a parent would be easy because I'm selfless, but I've quickly realized that this is not the case and I really hate this child. He always has something to say, he always complains about something, and he always has a response to everything I tell him. I could ask him things as simple as put up your underwear and he will still go ahead to complain. He never listens to anything I have to say at any point in his little insignificant life. I hate raising him so much and I wish I could just take poison and die. I am miserable in my house every time he's around and I only feel happy when I send him to visit family. I am considering taking him abroad to a boarding school where I can then become a part-time parent. I'm a single parent with no support. I can't even have a shower in peace and all of a sudden he needs to go to the toilet as well. He's always overreacting and always hyperactive to the point where I just cannot bear it anymore. I wish I had an abortion. Please, can you let me know if these feelings are valid or if it's just me?
Now, I'm gonna be real. That come with having a dog. It's just like an annoyance of somebody following you all the time. Sometimes that even come with nieces and nephews or cousins and stuff. Cause I've always been the type of person where kids liked me. They like to follow me around, wanted me to play with them, want to grab my finger and drag me and pull me with them and say, come on. And it's like, all right, after a while, it's like, okay, that's enough. So I know how it is, but I don't know how it is. I don't got no kids. But I could understand that, but that's what you signing up for too. So you have to know that. But everybody human, and those are natural emotions that somebody probably will feel. Everybody probably can relate to that. I know my people, they said I was a handful, especially when I was young, when I was 2, I was acting out, I was acting crazy. But other than that, I always been chill. So when they would see me and compare me to other kids, they like, man, these kids are wild. I'm like, seeing you thought I was bad. Now you see how other kids act. I've always been advanced. I didn't even crawl. I went straight from scooting around on the floor to walking, right? So I'm just giving y'all that to know what type of kid I was, what type of baby I was, right? I was different. I was born premature. I could have died. My lungs wasn't all the way developed, all of that. So I just always been a little different. But when you compare that to other kids, like even when I go in stores these days, I be like, man, they need to get control of their kids. They kids all over the place. They wild. So I can understand the annoyance of having to tell somebody, no, stop. Somebody following you all the time. Somebody following you around all the time, the whole nine. I could understand it, but like I said, that's what you signing up for though.
What is something that you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
That a lot of parents out there regret having kids. A lot of women have been sold on the idea that being a mother is everything and that if you don't have kids, then what good are you? And then once they have kids, it's not all flowers and roses like they've been told. Nobody tells the truth about the real costs in having kids. Babies are born sick and they have ailments. Partners can't handle it and they bail. And then it's a great disappointment that the child grows up to be something totally different than the idea that you have in your head. And once the resentment sets in, they tend to lash out at people who chose not to have children, mostly out of jealousy because they have the freedom to do things while you still have a child attached to your hip. So if you're considering having kids, think long and hard, because having a child is a lifelong commitment. It doesn't end when the kid turns 18. It lasts a lifetime.
I hate my kids. I hate myself for saying that. I don't even want to be around my kids. I feel so full of shame and blame for even thinking those things. Do you relate to this? Do you feel like you almost wish you didn't have kids sometimes because it's so hard? Because it feels like it's swallowing you up whole? Because it feels like every day is a constant grind and battle, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter what you try. You've bought books and listened to podcasts and listened to webinars and taken courses, but nothing ever works. Your kids don't listen till they yell. They don't do what you ask them to do. Everything's a battle, a negotiation, a total power struggle. I want you to know, if you're feeling like this, stop, take a really big deep breath. It's okay. It's totally okay. Second of all, you're so not alone. You're not alone. I talk to thousands of parents in a year who feel like this.
A mom admitted online that she loves her 3 kids but regrets having them. She posted to Reddit recalling how much her life had changed since having her first child 12 years ago. She felt like her life had ended. Now she likens herself to a full-time nanny, chef, and maid for 3 little humans. She doesn't feel like her kids show her any respect and that they aren't even that fond of her, and her husband isn't helping matters any. She says she grew up with a bad mom, so now she overcompensates by always trying to take the best care of her home and her family, and she always feels underappreciated. She's not alone in these feelings. Studies have shown that around 1 in 10 parents regret having children, and they suffer in silence because there's a huge stigma attached to this regret. While many women are aware of the physical changes that can occur in order for them to become a mom, many women are not prepared for the overwhelming burden of becoming the primary caretaker for the family. Not to mention the fact that many stay-at-home parents face isolation, loneliness, loss of identity, and depression. The primary parent should have time for self-care, self-discovery, and time away from the responsibilities of being a parent. And the partner needs to step up and make the entire family a priority, which includes the mother. The key is finding balance, which isn't always easy. Hang in there, mama. You're not alone.
Listen, YouTube, this is really just what I want to know. You can drop it in the comments like we already know. This is a safe zone. Let me know, do anybody feel the same way as these people on this video? Just as long as your kid's not watching. Do you regret them, or have you ever had those type of thoughts? If you do have them, let me know. 'Cause this is a serious one right here. I just want to know. I like knowing what's going on. I like, talking to y'all and seeing how y'all feel. I know a lot of people on YouTube might not do that, but I'm gonna do that. So go ahead and drop it below in the comments, man. I appreciate y'all watching. With that said, it's YT. Peace.